Hello and welcome. This is Cryptos 2018 with another episode of Simple Cryptocurrency Reviews. Now in this episode we're going to be looking at Neo Name Services testnet platform. Okay, so I've already done a video in the past about Neo Name Service, short for NNS. Basically they're on the Neo blockchain. They're a token on the Neo blockchain which haven't yet launched on an exchange. So you can only purchase this token via over-the-counter trades on Telegram or Discord, right? But what these guys are going to do is, as I mentioned in my original video, just to recap, is they're going to allow people to exchange their addresses that they've got for Neo. Like for example, as you can see here, this is my address here, ASQ, this long string of alphanumeric characters, to exchange it for a .neo domain name address. Okay, so you could actually have, I don't know, let's say something like michaeljackson.neo or ilovecrypto.neo or dragonballz.neo or anything like that. So you could actually have a proper domain name associated with your account, okay, with your address on the blockchain. So once again, just to recap, you've got your private key, okay, which is covered by you. This is used to encrypt your information on the blockchain. So what you actually have here is you've got the public address, okay, and this public address is the long alphanumeric character that you can see here, okay. So for many people this is quite complicated, because they need to copy and paste each time when they want to send funds across and do any kind of transfers. So to make life easier, Neo Name Service give you that option, to exchange this long address to a domain name. I think this is a really awesome idea on their side. They are actually the first blockchain initiative, the first blockchain project to actually come up with something like this. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now I've already logged into their testnet site. So as you can see here, the website is https://testwallet.nel.group. Okay, then what you can do is you can log in with your private key, which are WIF, okay, from the wallet. And once you log in with the private key, this is the page you're going to see the balance. You've got the transfer, you've got the sgas exchange, and you've got the nns.neo. You can ignore nns.test because I assume this is not going to be there when these guys launch on the mainnet, okay? And then you've got the settings. And here you can also see the block height up on the top right hand corner, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we can see my Neo balance is 0. I've got some gas here on the testnet. You can actually request more gas if you click this button. Okay, I think you're entitled to 10 gas every 24 hours, as you can see here when you click on the little question mark button here. Okay, now so the next step that you should do is you need to go to the sgas exchange, and here you'll be able to see that you can exchange your gas balance. Okay, so this is my gas balance, 14.99, as we can see under the balance tab, and this is my sgas balance. So sgas is always what is that word, tagged, is always tagged at on a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, so this is pretty cool. As you can see here, sgas is a NEP5 token which is bound with NEO's gas at the ratio of 1-to-1. Okay, and they can be converted with each other freely. The exchange needs to be confirmed after 1 block. Please be patient. Okay, so as you can see, I've already got 5 sgas here. But if you're interested in exchanging, what you basically do here is you type, for example, I don't know, let's say 2 gas. Then you immediately see that it tells you here that the amount you will receive is 2 sgas, okay? And you literally click the exchange button. And once you do that, it's going to exchange the gas that you've got, so Neo gas, into sgas, okay, which is a separate token as mentioned here. Okay, now let's move on to the nns.neo tab. Okay, so this is where you can actually bid for a domain name. Now, as you can see here, before participating in an auction, you need to know the following. 1. The asset used for auctions is sgas. You will need sgas in your auction account to place a bid. Gas can be exchanged for sgas at the rate of 1-to-1 using the sgas exchange page. So it's the one that I've showed you earlier, okay? Once you have sgas in your wallet, you can use top-up function. You can use the top-up function below to deposit sgas into your auction account. Okay, so I've already got sgas, so I'm going to click the top-up button. My balance is 5, okay? I can choose to get all. So let's say I don't want to get all, so let's just say 3. Okay, I click the confirm button. Successfully topped up. 3 S-gas will be in your auction. Okay, that's perfect. So now I need to wait a little bit, I guess. Let me move away from this page and go back again. Now it's probably going to take a little bit. So your auction account is still 0 here. Let's move on to another page. I think we need to wait something like 1 block or something before. Yeah, oh yeah, and the other thing I wanted to mention is if you see this little, what do you call this? Yeah, this little icon here on the top right hand corner, okay? The timer glass, okay? The hourglass. So when you click on this, you can see here all the transactions that you're doing. Okay, so you could see that it was pending, okay? I basically generated a transaction ID when I clicked on top up and I clicked and I selected the amount earlier on, okay? So now we can see that the transaction is completed. We don't have that little red information there which said it's in the blockchain. We can close it and we can see the auction account balance is 3, okay? So now let's say, for example, I want to bid for Dragon Ball Z.Neo. As we can see here, this name is available. So we can click on Start Auction. Okay, we've clicked the button. Let's give it a little bit of time. Okay, we are currently opening the auction. Please wait. That's the message you're getting. Okay, now if we move back to the hourglass on the top right hand corner, we can see we've got a little notification bell. So when we click on that notification bell, we can see it says Dragon Ball Z.Neo confirmation pending for the last 18 seconds, 19 seconds, 20, etc., etc. And this is the transaction ID that's been generated. So let's open this transaction ID in another tab. Okay, and here we can see the information. Okay, we can see the time when the transaction was generated, Monday 3rd of September. Okay, today's date, and the transaction ID. Okay, so let's close out of this. Now this is gone. Let's close out of it, and we can see here under my auction that Dragon Ball Z.Neo is in the auction period status. The auction period is the first stage of the auction and its duration is 3 days. So now 3 days is actually for the mainnet, okay? These guys are on testnet at the moment, so everything is much more quicker in order for us to properly test it and see how it actually works. Now to continue, during which all bids are valid, an overtime bidding of up to 2 days will be triggered when someone bids on the last day of the auction period. Otherwise, the auction ends at the end of the auction period. The overtime bidding is the second stage of the auction. Its maximum duration is 2 days. During this period, any bid may trigger the end of the bidding of this domain and the bid will be invalid, okay? The latter one, bids, the more likely it triggers the end of the bidding. So it's advised to place a bid as early as possible to avoid missing this domain. Okay, so that's very important. So we can see here the last auction price is 0 gas, okay? Current bidders, other people, nobody, okay? So we can actually see which people bid on your domain name, okay? So let's try to bid. Okay, my cumulative bid will be 0 gas. Okay, let's just select 3 for example. Okay, so now we can see my cumulative bid will be 3 gas and we click the bid button. Let's give it some time. As we can see, it's grayed out, so it's preventing us from clicking it again. Okay, your raise will be confirmed after a new block is generated. Please wait. Now we can see here down at the bottom, we can see the status. Okay, so because this is testnet, as I mentioned earlier, it is going through much quicker. But in reality, you're going to have different days here shown at the bottom of this page. And just to read up on this, on the tips here, the auction period in the first stage of the auction and its duration is 3 days, during which all bids are valid. An overtime bidding of up to 2 days will be triggered when someone bids on the last day of the auction period. Otherwise, the auction ends at the end of the auction period. The overtime bidding is the second stage of the auction. Its maximum duration is 2 days. During this period, any bid may trigger the end of the bidding of this domain and the bid will be invalid. The latter one bids, the more likely it triggers the end of the bidding. So it's advised to place a bid as early as possible to avoid missing this domain. So it's exactly the same information as we saw when we selected the question mark. Okay, guys? Now let's move on there. So we can still see the status is the auction period. Let's go to domain management. Okay, nothing here. Current bidder is me. Okay, so now we can see here, if we click on the hourglass, we've got the notification bell. Okay, that's gone now. So we can see all the transactions we've done, including topping up with 3 S-gas. Okay, also creating the Dragon Ball Z, or placing a bid for the Dragon Ball Z.neo domain name, and then placing a bid for 3 S-gas for the Dragon Ball Z.neo. So even though you actually you wanna create a domain name, you do need to place a bid. So until you place that bid, your domain name is pretty much invalid. You need to place that bid. Okay. Okay. So let's close this, and let's go down. So we can see the auction period here is still is at its maximum. Okay. Now let's go to domain management. Okay, so we still need to wait some time before we can see some action happening. Okay, let's go to balance and see what it says here. Okay, so with the balance, as you can see here, I still show my balance. Okay. Now you can see all the transactions here in the history. So they've taken 3 gas from my account. Okay, that's when I did a top up. And here you can see that I've only got a balance of 2 S-gas. Okay, so I can actually request more gas by exchanging it. Simply by exchanging it. Okay, exchanging gas to S-gas. Okay, so we can see here that this auction period is still ongoing because of the status. Okay, I think it takes around 2 minutes, but I'm not sure as far as I'm aware. It should take around 2 minutes, but it's been about 2 minutes now. So we may need to wait a little bit longer. Let's open the transaction there and see. Close this. Invocation, okay. So we can see the transaction ID here, the network fee. Okay. Okay. So it looks like we still need to wait a little bit longer. This bonus section, I'm not entirely sure what it's for, but we can see here that it's S-gas available to claim is 0. Now I assume this bonus section might have something to do with the holdings of NNC. So NNC, Neo Name Credit, is the token of Neo Name Service, okay? So when you hold NNC tokens in your wallet, you are entitled to claim a portion of the S-gas that was used to bid for domains by other people. Okay, so depending on the amount of your holdings, that gets divided by 1 billion tokens, because that's the total supply of the NNC tokens available, and that then gets multiplied by the amount of gas by the amount of S-gas that is available in the pool. Okay, and that gets shared across, okay, to different people. So you'll get a small portion depending on how many people bid for domain names. Now, just to keep in mind, these guys do actually have a competition, or sorry, they will launch a competition. They have announced it already. The competition will be that when they go on mainnet, what they're gonna do is they're going to airdrop 100 million NNC tokens to the early bidders. Okay, guys? So basically, if you follow exactly what I've did and try to purchase a domain name for your address and you make an early bid, just because you made that early bid, it means you are entered into this draw, or let's say not really a draw, but more like you are entered into this pool of people. So you're going to receive a small fraction of that 100 million NNC, okay, because you're one of the early bidders. So obviously the more people bid, the less you're gonna get. So it's all about the numbers, you know. But in the end, I mean, it's free tokens, so there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's go back to Neo Name auction. Okay, so it's still in the auction period, so it looks like this might take a little bit longer. Okay, yeah, it might take a little bit longer. Unfortunately, if it does take longer, I can't just stay and wait for the video for the bid to the auction period to complete. throughout the whole video. It may take a while. Okay, so I'm going to let's give it another minute or so. Okay, so what I might do is I might actually check back on this at some point, but for now I think we'll end it here. Okay guys, so you get the idea anyway. So this is what you have to do. So you basically follow exactly the same steps that I did, and then under domain management you're going to see if you win the bid. Okay, if there's nobody else that actually placed the bid, you should see your domain name. So in my case I should see dragonballz.neo, okay, because this is the domain name that I've wanted to get for my address. So basically anybody that wants, if I win this auction, right, anybody that wants to send me any P5 tokens on the Neo blockchain can do so by sending them to dragonballz.neo when they have to choose the send address, when they have to type the address in any Neo wallet. So for example, if you use the Aphelion wallet to send tokens, you click the send button and then you choose the tokens that you want to send me, okay? And then in the address you just type dragonballz.neo and that's it, and the funds will automatically come to me, because this will be recognized by the Neo blockchain. So it will automatically associate my address, my long string of alphanumeric characters, to this domain name. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. Okay guys, I would like to thank you for watching, and if you have any other questions, please write them in the comment section below, and please do subscribe to my video if you're a new viewer. And yeah, I hope you look forward to my next video, guys. Have a good day and thank you. Goodbye.